What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mood616 here, and I'm back with part 2 of my CD update that's way long overdue. As you can see, I have kind of broke into these huge towers of CDs, but we're a long ways from being done, so let's just get right into this. First up here is Dangermouth, Word of Mouth. This is an album from 1997. Dangermouth was coming straight out of Richmond, Virginia, which at the time was really not put on the map so much. Mad Skills, I would probably say, was the cat that really put them kind of on the map at the time. Mad Skills is actually on this album. He was kind of Dangermouth was like an affiliate of him. Very great album though, man. Like really great album. You know, the interesting thing is, you know, I never really think of Dangermouth as a producer, but he actually produces the best tracks on this album. The beat on Like Flies on here, oh my god, that thing is just off the hook. But there's a pair of songs on here back to back, Dangerous and Mouth of Madness, featuring Mad Skills, which are just fucking phenomenal. Yeah, and he kills the beats on those. But 1997 was definitely, you know, the start of hip-hop changing, man. It changed forever. You know, that was the start of the Jiggy era. You know, that was the Jay-Z and the Puff Daddy whole Jiggy era. That just hip-hop went from, you know, being popular to like super international mainstream type shit. And then we got cats like Dangermouth, who's coming out in 97 saying fuck that shit, I'm gonna do my own stuff. And it's very boom bappy and stuff. It's just very underground, but yeah, it's kind of, you know, very independent stuff, but awesome, really good stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all these albums here, man. You know what, I'll just put them right here. Next up here is Timbo King, From Babylon to Timbuktu. This was like the super long-awaited debut album from Timbuktu, of course, from Timbo King, from Timbuktu, from Timbo King. Yeah, this one came out in 2011 on Nature Records, Nature Sounds, I guess, and which is crazy because like he had probably at least a dozen mixtapes before this, like official mixtapes, I guess, and he dropped this album and he put out a couple mixtapes after that, and that's really all he's ever done, album-wise, which is crazy. You know, he's part of the Royal Fam, which I remember that record, man. Black House was being so fucking amazing. So this album, man, I remember hearing a bunch of those mixtapes throughout the 2000s stuff, and I'm super anticipating this album to come out, and it didn't disappoint. It's awesome. It's not actually flooded too much with features, man. It's got, you know, it's got the RZA on it. Ari the Rugged Man makes an appearance on here. Of course, Hellraiser from Sons of Man. Killah Priest is on here, of course, in Sons of Man also. A couple other cats, but really it's, you know, it's a dope album. The production's mostly handled from by Bronze Nazareth on this record. And there's a couple other producers, but man, solid album. Really solid. Actually, here's the hype sticker right here that for some reason I put on the back of the case. I'm not even sure why I did that, but yeah, awesome record. I really highly recommend that. If you're into like Wu-Tang affiliate records and stuff, give that one a shot. It's awesome. Beanie Sigel's The Bee Is Coming album. I'm always going to say this. I'm sorry for the glare. There's nothing I can do. I fuck around with the lighting in here so bad. There's nothing I can do. Yeah, this was an interesting... I really like Beanie's first two albums. He went away to jail for a couple years and then came back. I think this is his album that he put out right after he got home. It starts out so weird. Like, the very first track on here, Feel It in the Air, is actually produced by Heavy D. And it's a very, you know, kind of down-to-earth, you know, teary-eyed type track. But you just never hear albums start off with a song like that. You know, it's usually 4, 5, 6 tracks into your album. Once you get the feel for the MC, I mean, right off the bat, this guy's like, you know, he's shedding some fucking tears. It's crazy. Definitely not my favorite Beanie album by any means. Yeah, I definitely dig his first couple albums a lot better. But, you know, it's got some pretty dope features on it, actually. Redman's on here. You got Snoop Dogg. Who else? Bun B. You got some Stat X, Grand Puba. And then, of course, there's a bonus track with Jay-Z and a track with Cameron on here also. But it's an alright album. Definitely, his first ones are... I like him more anyways, but it's an okay album. But yeah, Heavy D on the production on that song just fucking blew my mind when I was reading the credits and that. I was like, it's crazy. Cunning Linguist, Sloppy Seconds 2, definitely not as rare as the first one. So when I saw this, I was missing it from the collection. I was like, I gotta pick it up. I had it downloaded years ago, and I was like, one of these tapes that you just never come across. But I got this for like I think I only paid $2 or $3 for it, so that was kind of a score. But I'm still trying to get my hands on Volume 1. It's like impossible to find. It goes for like ridiculous money. But yeah, you know, this is the Cunning Linguist mixtape basically. So Sloppy Seconds, shit like that. If you guys can actually see that, if that's gonna focus, I doubt that's gonna focus because that's just the way shit goes. But yeah, Cunning Linguist, awesome group, love them. We got rapper Big Pooh, Sleepers. Of course, from Little Brother. Yeah, this is a good album, man. This is rapper Big. Yeah, this is his first album. Most of production, I believe, is handled by Ninth Wonder. Ninth Wonder and Crisis. I think they did both. Pretty much the majority of the album on here, but it's awesome, man. It's awesome. It's you know, it's. Rapper Big Pooh, he's kind of underrated a little bit, man. Along with Fonte, you know, Little Brother, man. I was gonna say Big Brother. Little Brother, man, as a group, just phenomenal. Actually, their new record out this year is just amazing. I absolutely love that album. It's great. Ninth is back on the production and stuff, but some of these solo projects are actually pretty dope, and this is one of them. Good album. Right from, yeah, very solid 14-track record. Next up here is Mr. Lif. I heard it today. I think this is officially like his third studio album. Of course, this is after the Def Jux era. This album right here it's all right. You know, Mr. Lif lyrically always has it together. He's very political. He's very conscious of, you know, just world and current affairs and things like that. He's always kind of got it going on. You get a lot more of that on this record too. You got a couple of features. You got Vinny Paz on here. There's a song with Metro. It's crazy. Bamadia makes an appearance on here. It's actually a song on here, Collapse the Walls, which I don't know why they didn't write it on the back. Track number 4, you can see the fucking glare. Track number 4 actually is featuring Edon and Cut Chemist, which, again, I don't know why they didn't put it on the back, but that's a dope track. But yeah, actually not a bad album. You know, upon re-listening to this one a few times, I was like, damn, it's actually not bad. Don't mind it. This is kind of random, sticking out of here, but we got House Party 3 soundtrack. I do have all 3 House Party soundtracks now. See, I personally like Kid and Play. I don't know, a lot of people don't like them, but I actually like Kid and Play, and I really like the House Party movies. I'd never seen the 4th one. I'd never had any ambition to check out the 4th one, considering they weren't in it and had nothing to do with it, but I digress. Where are the Blu-rays for the House Party movies, by the way? But yeah, this one has a lot of Kid and Play tracks on it. It has a bunch of Kid and Play tracks. Got Red Hot Lover Tone on here. Who else is on here, man? I think there was someone else. There's Silk Smooth. What is that track? To the Core, by a group called To the Core. We Got It. We Got It Going On. That was like the only song I could ever find by those guys that they did on this House Party 3 soundtrack, and it's actually really dope. I like it. But yeah, House Party 3. Like I said, these updates are pretty random. Defari Street Music. This is Defari's 3rd album or 4th album. 3rd or 4th album, something like that. It's okay. You know, it's got some decent production. Actually, the production lineup on this is pretty good. It's got Evidence and Babu, and I think Alchemist does beats on here and shit like that. But it's not, like, great. It's a solid album. It's got some pretty interesting features on here. You got Boo Capone on here. Evidence. Got some Dilated Peoples. Threat and J-Ro. Threat. That's crazy. And J-Ro, of course, from the Licks. Be Real. J-Ro's on a couple tracks. So it's got, you know, some of that family on here and stuff. But, you know, I still like this album. I like a couple of the previous Defari projects a lot better than this one. But it's still actually kind of solid. Oh, yes. The new 2 Live Crew. Back at your ass for the 9-4. This is an album that they made after Brother Marquis and Mr. Mix had actually left the group. So Luke went ahead and renamed the group the new 2 Live Crew and dropped this record. So fucking funny, man. Yeah, it's not as Miami bass as you think it would be. It is 1994, so I mean, a lot of that hard Miami bass was... Actually, this is about the time I think it was starting to kind of settle down a little bit. I do remember the video for Hell Yeah, that was kind of funny. But it's, like I said, it's not as hardcore... Miami bass sounding. It actually has a little bit of slower tracks through this. 24 tracks on this. 14 songs, so there's a lot of skippable material on here, which, you know, is very prevalent in a few of these Two Live Crew albums. A lot of skits, a lot of kind of throwaway shit, but at least they kept the skits really short in these things. You know, like they're 18 to 30 seconds kind of thing and stuff, but it's, you know, the same old material, man. It's Luke being fucking dirty as hell. And yeah, it's hit and miss with some of the songs, but again, Two Live Crew is one of those groups that I've always found hella entertaining, right from the dawn of Two Live Crew from '86. And I don't know, there's something about these guys that always kills me, man. Yeah, it's awesome. So I think this album actually starts off with Dolomite talking, which is interesting. It doesn't say it on there, but I think Dolomite's actually in the intro. So yeah, that's cool. Then we got Roots Manua. Fuck, I can never say this guy's name properly. Dub Come Save Me. This is the basically a remix album of Run, Come Save Me. It's okay. I mean, it's literally like kind of like dub music and shit like that, dubstep and shit. Not really my thing, to be honest. I only picked this up because I found it for a couple. I think this was maybe it was like $2 or something like that. So why not? I wanted to give it a listen to see if I would actually dig it or not. But I do like Roots Manuva. Manuva. I can't fucking say this guy's name properly. I do like some of his albums, like Awfully Deep and shit like that, is really good. And his first album, which I can't remember the title of it right now, is really dope too. So kind of that UK, some UK shit right there. So next up we got Haystack, The Natural, the white boy from Nashville, Tennessee, representing, man. I think this was Haystack's third album. Dude is still putting in work, man. He's been going hard since like '98, since like 2019. He must have like 20 albums out. It's crazy. I've never really heard anyone talk about Haystack. I think I have the majority. I think I'm missing one or two of his albums now. I really like Haystack, man. You know, for a Southern cat, he's got that Southern sound. Not very typical Southern, but it's definitely prevalent there. But he's a really good storyteller, man. He's really interesting with his lyrics and shit like that. So he actually had an appearance in Hustle and Flow. I think he was one of the guys at one of the club front doors, or maybe he was a bartender. I can't remember exactly what his part was in the movie, but he actually does make an appearance in Hustle and Flow, which is a dope movie, by the way. So that's kind of interesting. I think it takes place. Does it take place in Nashville? I can't even remember. Maybe it does. Fill me in. I haven't seen it in a while, but yeah, Haystack. I know my boy Jay is probably laughing right now again. He's like, again with the fucking Haystack, man. It's got the like, is that not the whitest rapper name ever, Haystack? But honestly, dude, he's dope. I mean, I can see some people not really digging his voice. It's a little bit high, maybe a high pitch. I don't really know how to describe his voice, to be honest, but I can see it though. It's definitely pretty much the voice you wouldn't expect out of him because he's pretty big. He's actually a lot skinnier now. He lost a lot of fucking weight. But yeah, Haystack, The Natural. I don't know. Give him a shot, man. It's actually pretty good. Then we got Last Straws. It's Strawmental. This was an album that was originally supposed to come out in 1995. It got shelved. It got released, I believe, in sometime in the 2000s. And this is like such a shoddy release too. It looks like a bootleg, but it's actually not. It's just really poorly put together. It sounds like shit too, but this is actually a group from Miami, Florida, which is crazy because they totally... It sounds straight New York boom bap. I mean, this isn't Miami bass at all. These guys were not conforming to the music of Miami at the times. I guess 95 was, like I said, probably nearing the end of the hardcore Miami bass sound. But yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of samples and stuff. This isn't really groundbreaking, but it's kind of cool, though. It's pretty dope, considering how dirty and dusty this sounds. It sounds like they ripped the music probably from a cassette tape. Like, I'm not even talking 2 inches or anything. I'm talking, like, straight audio cassette. But you know, it's pretty decent for what it is, man. I know this got re-released again. This is the first release of it, so it's like the shittier one. But I think it got re-released again, and which is probably better. I don't know. Okay, moving along. Planet Asia, The Last Stand. I think this is Planet Asia's first official album, which is kind of weird because it only has 8 tracks. It totally feels more like an EP. Like, it totally feels like an EP. Holy man, the glare on this one is really bad. But yeah, Planet Asia, The Last Stand. Hit my microphone there. Yeah, this is dope, man. I think the beats are all done by 427 on here. It's just really short, man. Really short, considering, you know, Planet Asia was doing that Kanye West album shit way before Kanye was, you know, putting out 7-8 track albums, which are fucking EPs. Yeah, but Planet Asia, Last Stand, awesome. I'm such a big fan of Planet Asia. Sauce Money, Middle Finger You. Oh, man, the infamous Sauce Money. Now, I'm not even sure how this record even sold, to be honest. If it actually sold decent, I know it was on Priority. But Sauce Money, I know, made a lot of his money for ghostwriting for Puff Daddy. I know he wrote I'll Be Missing You and shit like that for Puff Daddy and shit. Which I know to this day, Puff still... I know Sauce Money's name is in the credits and shit, but Puff always talks about... It always sounds like he fucking... When he describes that song, like he fucking wrote that. And I still think it's really insane because... You know, Puffy was supposed to be Biggie's closest friend kind of thing. And then he got a ghostwriter to write the fucking song for him, with his dedication song to him. I just find that a little bit disrespectful. Like, I mean, you want to be an artist. I get it. You want the best track to go out there. But, you know, try to write something yourself. I don't know. That's just my opinion on that. But Sauce Money did a lot of ghostwriting for people. Actually wrote a lot of tracks off the first Puff Daddy record. The album that changed hip-hop, really, in 97. Made it fucking... you know, insanely mainstream. But this album isn't really that good, though, to be honest. The beats are kind of lacking. I do like For My Hustlers. I mean, that song is, I think, the lead single on here that kind of sticks out. But really, that song does stick out like a sore thumb, because the rest of the album is pretty, it's okay. It actually has Puffy on here. It's got Jay-Z on a couple tracks, Maverick, and Memphis Bleak. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. Fucking, where's Bleak these days? But yeah, Sauce Money. It's okay. It's okay. It's listenable. It's not horrible or anything. So, yeah. Now, I always have the one album in all these stacks that seem to be like, really, dude? Like, why are you buying that? 50 cents. But I had to pick this up. Hammer, the Funky Headhunter. And the reason why I grabbed this album, because I actually remember buying this back in 95 when it came out. Because I remember hearing the song Break 'Em Off Something. And literally dying because it was so gangster sounding. And motherfucker was dissing everybody, man. MC Search, fucking Tribe Called Quest, Redman. I think they disses a bunch of people in there. And if I'm not mistaken, Suge Knight actually has lyrics. He actually talks in that song and raps a little bit and shit like that too. It's so freaking bizarre. But this album right here, I mean, as you can tell, even by the look of Hammer, he went hard, man. He went really hard. This whole album is not really breaking any grounds or anything. It's straight G-Funk, gangster wine, West Coast music. I mean, you got to remember, Hammer actually was from Oakland, and he was considered to be a badass motherfucker. He just didn't, his music didn't just, it didn't really portray who he actually really was, you know, mentally, because he was kind of a hard ass and shit. So I love the interviews with Redman. He's like, man, if you ever diss Hammer, expect that motherfucker to come back at you and shit. It's pretty funny. But this album, it's just hilarious to listen to. It's crazy to hear this. I mean, this is 2 albums removed from his big ass one, man. You know, with You Can't Touch Us and shit. So it's crazy, the transformation. But I mean, this made sense. 1995, West Coast music was completely dominating hip-hop, and why not just come out with these albums? I mean, there were so many people doing albums like this, and Hammer had to get into that action, you know? So, it's pretty funny, actually. Ah, shit. Poor Righteous Teachers. I was so happy to finally find a copy of this for really cheap, man. I got this for $7, rare and unreleased. It usually goes for a little bit more. Usually, you know, $20, $30 and shit, which is crazy. But yeah, it's, you know, rare and unreleased stuff. It's rare tracks, unreleased, and it's got some remixes from some of their, you know, tracks. You guys might be able to... I can never get this fucking thing to focus. It's crazy. It's probably the glare in here, man. It's the glare. But Poor Righteous Teacher. Big ups to Wise Intelligent, man. I absolutely love Wise Intelligent. Absolutely an amazing MC. Super and crazily underrated. Still doing shit today. But yeah, Poor Righteous Teachers. Oh, fucking hiccups. Next up, man, is an album. I absolutely love this record so much. Young Z, Musical Meltdown, of course, from The Outsiders. Oh man, this album's so fucking dope, dude. Got released in 2015. I can't remember exactly when this was supposed to be released. Back in the day before it got shelved, I can't remember. But it's awesome, man. The first track, man, Don't Fuck With New Jersey, man. Ah, dude, that track is so dope. I love this overall like the whole feel of this album, man. Young Z's dope. Very, very awesome album. Highly, highly recommend this, man. Just nothing but bangers on here, man. I think the song, was it Milk or Jack Mode? Shit, dude. So sick. Awesome. A couple B tapes here. Evidence. The Purple Tape instrumentals. I know Evidence has put out 4 of these. I do actually have them all now. Some of these tracks are like new, like a few of the tracks on here are like newer beats and stuff, but some of them are like older stuff that he produced for other people or himself, but they're differently named. So, but yeah, these beat tapes, I'm always a big fan of, like I said, putting these on to mixtapes and shit when I'm making them. So, or they actually used to use a lot of them on my radio show, because when you're talking, put some instrumentals and shit over them. But yeah, it's good. But yeah, Evidence, the Red Tape instrumentals. This one came out in 2007. But yeah, dope stuff. If you like Evidence beats, I mean, these are definitely something. And if you like beat tapes, man, you might actually be into those. Oh, man. This album right here. Oh, shit, dude. When this album came out, I was just like flabbergasted. I didn't even understand. I mean, I did understand why they signed to the label. I mean, really, they were signing to somebody that had been blowing the fuck up and, you know, get money, right? But yeah, Mobb Deep's Blood Money, which ironically enough was titled Blood Money, which I think that's kind of what it was, you know. It was like, let's sign to the G-Unit label, 50 Cent's label, and let's do big things and shit. But really, it made for a really fucking weird project, man. There's some songs on here that are so terrible. Really, really terrible stuff. But there is a couple good tracks on here. Like the beat for Stole Something is awesome, man. Havoc did that one. But the thing is, that's one of the problems with this record, is that Havoc doesn't produce this whole record, so it sounds all over the place, man. You know that Havoc dark shit that he usually does? Well, it's prevalent in Stole Something. I think Put Him in Their Place, I think he did that beat too. Pearly Gates, I think he also did that track. Oh no, Pearly Gates I think was actually produced by Exile. Yeah, I think Exile actually did that. And I think the Infamous was produced by The Alchemist. So there's quite a bit of different producers, but those 2 tracks are actually really dope. A couple Havoc tracks on here are pretty dope. And there's actually 2 bonus tracks that aren't listed on here. One is produced by Dre, and the other one is produced by Fredwreck. Have a Party, which has 50 Cent and Nate Dogg, and it's like straight West Coast shit, man. It's Fredwreck on the beat, Nate Dogg. Oh my god, dude. It's weird to hear Mobb Deep doing songs like that, because it just sounds so West Coast. It sounds really forced, to be honest. It's not even a bad song, it just sounds forced. And then, of course, you got Out of Control remix, produced by Dr. Dre, and it again is straight West Coast shit. So this album's kind of a mixed bag. It's definitely and by far my least favorite Mobb Deep album that they ever dropped as a group. Yeah, man, this one, ugh, God, it's just, I don't know, man. I know there's a lot of people out there that agree with me that album's pretty trashy, but it does have some moments in it. You know, I think there's 4 or 5 tracks, but overall as an album, it's pretty shitty. Then we got Too Short, Bible of a Pimp, which this is just a rebuy for me, because I've owned this version of it 3 times. Now, my first copy I had actually gave to my best friend back in the day. I bought another copy, and the top of the disc started to flake, and this one started to do the same thing. And if you know anything about when tops of your discs start to flake, that means it's starting to skip. And it's weird, it's not even like shelf rot, it's just these discs from In a Minute Records were just pressed shitty, man, because all 3 copies that I've owned in my day have all done that, and none of my other discs have done it. So it's something to do with these pressings. If you're not familiar with this is basically just Too Short's first 3 albums put into double disc CD. It's called The Player Years, from his first 3 albums, of course. Don't Stop Rappin', Players, and Raw Uncut and X-Rated. So yeah, they do it. Actually, they do it a little bit different. Actually, on that version, Female Funk was still on the first disc, and it's on the second disc here. But 18 tracks. The cool thing about this is it actually comes with a DVD, Bible of a Pimp. So there's a 3-disc. A sticker on the back that says "Biatch." So essentially the same shit, but just hopefully a little bit better pressing, you know. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Short Dog's first 3 albums. I still love reading out the first tracks, man. Invasion of the Flat Booty Bitches. She's a Bitch, The Bitch Sucks Dick, and Blowjob Betty. And then it's funny, man. And then he gets into like straight up like clean tracks, man. One of my favorite 2 short songs actually from this era is Girl Cocaine, That's Your Life, man. That track's awesome. It's like 9 minutes of just, you know, it's that anti-drug song, man. Very clean. And Too Short used to do. House of... Lords of the Underground. House of Lords. Man, dude, I picked this up because I really was curious as hell to hear this album. I'd never heard this one. This is their last and final group album. And this one, I believe, came out in sometime in the 2007. Oh, man, it is really not good, man. This is bad. Again, I paid like 50 cents for this. Production's all over the place. You do have DJ Lord Jazz do a couple tracks in here. And actually, surprisingly enough, there's a fucking Marley Marl song on here. What y'all want to know. And, you know, honestly, even that beat's not even that great, which is such a shame because Marley Marl is an amazing producer, but just couldn't keep that magic from Here Comes the Lords, man, from back in the day, which is Bonafide, one of my favorite albums. I absolutely adore that album, but House of the Lords, not good. That is not good. There's the shit one for the stack here, as is probably going to happen a couple times. But we got Roxanne Shanté's Bad Sister album, 1989, debut record on Cold Chillin' Records. It's Roxanne Shante, man. I actually dig it. I know this one's going out to my man Jason, Mr. Bosco. He loves his female MCs. Actually, there's going to be a lot of albums in here that are actually female MCs. I picked up a lot of female MC records in the last couple years. But this was one I was missing from Cold Chillin'. I do have every Cold Chillin' release now, and this was like one of the last ones, so that's kind of cool to have. Ooh. 2 more to go here. We got Rock Marciano's Merci Beaucoup. I don't know how to speak French. I'm Canadian. I don't get the whole everyone knows French shit in Canada. Don't speak anything. I can't even say that, right? I think that's French. Yeah, I love this record, man. This is actually pretty dope. There's a lot of dope features on here. We got Evidence, Ka and Guilty Simpson, Action Bronson, Knowledge the Pirate, Freeway, AG from DITC. We got the Gangrene Crew, Alchemist and Ono. We got Blue, that Quell Chris dude, which I'm not actually a big fan of. He's kind of strange to me. We got Cormega, AG the Corner. Lots of fucking features on here, but I actually really like this project. It's pretty cool. So yeah, if you're a fan of Rock Marciano, and I mean, this album actually has drums. So yeah, check it out. And last up for this update. Wow, this has gone on way longer than I thought. I was trying to do these in like 20 minutes. I seriously can't do it. Maybe I'll just stop picking 25. I'll pick 20 or something. I don't know. We got the Coffee Brothers, Fresh Brew. This is Devin the Dude's group. I would say this is actually his third group he's been in. Holy shit, man, he's been in a lot of groups. The Odd Squad, Face Mob, and the Coffee Brothers. Holy shit. Devin the Dude is that dude. He's done a lot of work. Honestly, this album is kind of boring. I do like their first one a lot better. The first track, Blunts and Pens, is so dope, dude. Awesome fucking track, man. It just bangs. It's a great track to like roll around to. But the whole rest of the album is super slow and melodic and just really not even that great. It's kind of like what Devin usually does, but Devin's a lot more entertaining when he's doing an album by himself. When you got these other MCs and shit, it's not really the greatest. I always forget the dude's name in this group. He's actually a blind guy. Yeah, this dude right here is actually blind, and he's part of the group. That's crazy. I mean, how many blind rappers is there? It's crazy. But yeah, the Coffee Brothers. So that's it for this update. Wow, I can't believe it went like 30 minutes. That's insane. So maybe next time, I don't know. Maybe I'll just pick a little bit less or something. I want to get through these, but it's taking way too long. So anyways, guys, I'll check you in the next update. And till then, deuces.